Sometimes when you're in business, there are other things that become priority. I had a family, so I couldn't just spend money and keep spending money on these, because at the same time, when he gave me the clothing line, I had a salon. My husband asked for a divorce. He put another woman in the house, put all my stuff out. My father passed a few weeks later.
Wow.
My daughter went crazy because that was her grandfather. So all these were like in a 2-month period. So at that particular time, my focus was not on beautifully speaking. But I also had to learn that I had to start speaking beautifully to myself. You know, okay, I'm gonna put it back out there. And every time I get ready to put it back out there, here come another attack.
Why do you think so many women place emphasis or value on men or family loving them? And what are the steps that a woman should begin in loving herself and demonstrating her self-worth?
First of all, I always tell women that men is not a goal. Getting a man is not a goal. God will tell you, He will support you, He will back you in your career. Go after it. Go after everything within you. But He will never tell you to go after a man. Never. You would never find that in Scripture. The only women who went after men were prostitutes. You have to begin to ask yourself, what is it about me where I'm afraid to be alone? What is it about me that says that I'm not worthy? What is it? So you have to sit down and ask yourself some very difficult questions as though you are counseling yourself. And you have to lay hands on yourself and lay on your couch and be honest with yourself and say, you know what? I am here because of the decision that I made. Maybe it was childhood. Maybe my father wasn't around, or maybe I was molested, or maybe I feel like I got to buy people in order to get them to love me or to accept me. So it's a lot of things that you have to begin to ask yourself, because there's always a root to it. And so you have to dig around that and get to the root of the problem. I had a book that said that it was called Teach Me How to Love Me. And I had to change the title of that book, because most women would be offended because they say, I do love me. No, I'm not saying you don't like you. But if you loved you, you would make better decisions concerning you, because your life is a reflection of what's in your heart. So if you are choosing the wrong people, that's because that's what's in your heart. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to change my heart in order to change my life. There's a difference, mind you, of being alone and allowing God to heal you. So you can just be by yourself and then in 6 months go hook up with somebody else.
All right.
But you're not healed, because some things run deep. He taught me, he says, I'm going to teach you this simple prayer. He says, when you meet someone, immediately say, Lord, you know me. Lord, you know them. Can we date? Because He can see further down the line, because everything I do in my life now has to be attached to purpose. So teaching women that just because he's fine don't mean he's purpose. Just because he got it going on don't make him part of your purpose, because you can actually be delaying your progress. So anybody who don't add to my life, He takes them from my life. And I learned that their rejection is His protection for me.
To every little girl or young woman coming across your website, Essence Images, what do you hope that she takes away from the message and these 6 powerful words? Be empowered, be inspired, be encouraged.
I'm telling you to be you. Regardless of the people who said you weren't going to ever be nothing. Be empowered. If you're feeling depressed, be inspired. You know, be encouraged, because God created you. He made your personality. He made your body type. He gave you everything that you have. Be it. You don't have to try to fit in no mold. You don't have to try to fit into this cookie cutter image of what people think you ought to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Just be you. And that's good enough.
Define again essence. Mm-hmm. How does a woman find her essence, and what does it take to get there?
Essence means to bring out your true nature.
Mm-hmm.
So it means redefining yourself.
Okay.
And letting go of, because when you redefine yourself, it's like taking an eraser and erasing the past, erasing the negativity, and writing your future. How you see yourself, who you want to be, you know? And so it's, know that becoming who you really are is a process, and no one can tell you who you really are but God. I believe that when people deal with the truth and deal with the process, because there is a process to the promise. I tell everybody this. There is 100%. There's 100% you represent God all the time. There's another 100%. And out of that 100%, 90% of that is preparation. 10% is presentation. For example, it'll take a whole year to plan a wedding that's only going to happen 30 minutes.
Mm.
So everything that you're going through is preparation, so that when he presents you, it's on from there, you know? I'm learning to embrace his process. And that can be challenging, especially when you see other businesses taking off and you see other things like taking off that you wanted to do. And it seemed like it took off for them fast. But why is it taking so long for me? You begin to ask those questions, because that's the reality of chasing your dreams. It don't happen overnight.
Right, well, thank you again, Miss Sonya Walker, and that indeed concludes our interview.
Awesome, thank you.